Welcome.
You are watching Line Screw 1. Well, hello tubers. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in this crazy YouTube universe. Today, you almost might be mistaken that it's a beautiful, sunny summer day. But it's not. We just had a nice, beautiful heat wave here in Western Canada. So today we're headed north on a road trip through supernatural British Columbia. And what you're seeing is when heading through the Fraser Canyon, there's about 7 tunnels going through the canyon. A much nicer and more beautiful drive, in my opinion, through the Fraser Canyon than taking the alternative route, the Coquihalla Highway. But I figured I'd bring you along and show you the sights. And this is a canyon where the main road goes through. It used to be an old wagon train until they put the highway through, I don't know, maybe 70 years ago. So 100 years ago, going through this part of the world meant a narrow little dirt road that was designed for, wagons and beasts of burden and things of that nature. But it's a nice, fast. You can do 60 miles an hour through the canyon here, especially when the weather is fantastic like this. But you got the trains running on both sides with lots of little tunnels for the roads. It's a beautiful little drive, especially now because the tourist season hasn't kicked up yet, so there's a lot less travel on the road. But what a wonderful day. Just listening to the radio, relaxing, heading north, going to see some friends. Oh, this is the Alexander Bridge, the new Alexander Bridge. I don't know if you can see it, but to the far left down on the river, there's the old suspension bridge. It's kind of cool to hike down and check it out. I think I did a video a few years ago when I did that, but just wonderful, wonderful drive. Here's another tunnel. When we were kids, when we used to drive through the Fraser Canyon, we used to play this game of who could spot the tunnel first, and then you get bonus points if you can name it, because they all have different individual names. But anyway, I'm heading north to see places and people that I may not see again for a long while. This last year, actually the last even 6 months, I've been traveling about, seeing old friends, seeing old places that I may not see again for a long time, once my final exodus is done. And I just figured it was worth it. When you got the time, you got the money, why not? Because once I'm no longer living in North America, I won't be able to see any of these beautiful things and the people that I know here. So anyway, it's been a pretty hectic last 7 weeks. I think my neighbor wondering what the heck's up, because I'm here, I'm gone, I'm here, I'm gone. I mean, gee, the places that I've been in the last 7 weeks. I've been to London twice, because I had to pass through London, going to continental Europe. So I spent some time in London, spent a night in Calgary. Hell, I was even in Chicago. Don't get me started why I was in Chicago. There was issues with an airline, let's just say. So I wound up spending an afternoon in Chicago, and I haven't even been into Chicago in probably 25 years. But oh gee, where else? Las Vegas, Arizona. The list goes on. Of course, in the fall, I was in Montreal and Orlando. So it's just nice to take the time and see a lot of these things that I really probably won't see all of it again. But it's nice. Oh, on the left-hand side, we just passed the old Hell's Gate tram. There's an actual tram you can take across the river. It's a bit of a tourist trap. I've done it a few times over the years. But not open yet, obviously, because the tourist season hasn't begun. So we're still heading north towards Boston Bar in the beautiful Fraser Canyon, named after Simon Fraser, the explorer. And what makes this such a unique part of Canadian history was not only the engineering, but the history of the people that built these roads up to the old gold fields up north, and how the railway was actually built with cheap Chinese labor. It's part of the history. We're not proud of it, but it's just part of the reality. And some of the toughest work in terms of placing explosives to put the railway through, a lot of that was done by the local First Nations people, because not only did they pay them less, which, you know, obviously I don't think it's part of the proud Canadian heritage, but they were very brave individuals, and they'd get lowered in these, you know, wicker baskets with some rope. They'd set the dynamite, and then they'd be hauled back up. And a lot of the white folks didn't want to do that kind of work because it was quite risky and scary. But the First Nations people that volunteered for that kind of work were brave enough to get the job done. Now we're in another tunnel here. I think this is the longest of them all. I think it's called the Boston Bar Tunnel, something like that. And it's so big it actually has to have a ventilation shaft so that the carbon monoxide doesn't build up. But I think this is the last tunnel in the Fraser Canyon, and then we're going to pass through Boston Bar and head up to Lytton. And I'm going to have a little video from Lytton here on this video about this. It's one of the places I wanted to stop because the city of, or the town of Lytton, it completely burned to the ground a couple summers ago. And I wanted to stop in and see how the rebuilding's going. It's going at a snail's pace. So now we are between Lytton and Spence's Bridge. Yeah, this is the South Thompson River that's on the left-hand side. And if you notice, the climate is getting a lot drier as we head north, where we're kind of heading into a semi-desert, where you can tell that you got more and more shrub grass and desert plants and fewer trees as we head north towards Spence's Bridge and Ashcroft. And believe it or not, actually, as a kid, I lived in this area very briefly in Cache Creek. Gee, what grade was I in? Maybe 7, but we didn't live there very long, maybe a couple months. So I remember the cold winters waiting for the bus, because this part of British Columbia, yeah, it's very warm in the summer, but can be pretty crisp and cool in the winter too. I guess it's essentially on a rain shadow, so a lot of the moisture-laden clouds already give up their rain before they get to this part of British Columbia. But hey, like look at this image. It's just beautiful, blue sky, sunny. It's just fantastic, and I couldn't say no, because you know it's that beautiful nexus when you got the time, you got the money, and you're willing to put the effort in to go see this beautiful country that I live in. So yeah, and they're doing a bunch of road work. Here I had to stop for a little area where I guess they've got they're fixing the road, making it wider, or dealing with some of the potential landslides that can occur. I wasn't quite sure what they were doing here, but had to wait for the one-way road here to get through. So there was pretty minimal delays as I traveled north here. And a beautiful day to be outside working as a road construction crew member, because it pretty much sucks when it's cold or wet. So I'm sure they're very, very happy with this little warm spell we've been having. So, yeah, where was I heading? I was heading to the North Okanagan to see an old friend, and I posted a video the other day about where am I now. Well, I can say about 9 of you guessed correctly, and it was Kamloops, BC. That's the tournament capital of Canada, Kamloops, BC, which is essentially the northernmost deserty point of Canada, and kind of reminds me a lot of Laughlin, which I was just at recently. So anywho, I think you've seen enough of this beautiful scenery. Let's show the video that I did from downtown, or what used to be downtown Lytton, and the rebuilding of the entire town. that burned to the ground. This is the town of Lytton, at least what's left of it. A few years ago, the entire town burned to the ground in the summertime. It was hotter here than it was in Las Vegas, which is saying something. And I was living several hundred kilometers north of here, but take a look behind me. The whole town is gone. I used to stop here with my motorhome and stop at the store. They used to have a little country market in the summer. There was always room on that road. Actually, where I'm actually standing was homes and businesses. And as you can see, so 2 years later, the city's taken so long with the province and the federal government to get the money through, same with the insurance companies, to rebuild and issue permits. These poor people, they've been living elsewhere or in motels or with friends. And yeah, I've been wanting to come back, but wow, it's such a beautiful, beautiful warm day here. And I'm here to see what it looks like, and it's like, wow. It's gone. I mean, there are some structures like way over there that did survive, and some further up the hill, but you know, if you look all around, the entire valley was scorched. Now over there it wasn't. That's on the other side of the Fraser River. But wow, it's amazing what fire can do. Just amazing. I'm speechless. So at least it's cleaned up. I'm sure I would have been a lot more shocked if I would have seen it the day after the fire, but at least these lots have been remediated and cleaned up. But wow, amazing. But what a beautiful day here in British Columbia. Freaky warm weather in March. So I'm gonna keep heading north. Well, it's a beautiful, beautiful day here, and I figured, hey, you know what? It's getting late in the afternoon. Let's grab a hotel. So I'm in the tournament capital of Canada, here in Kamloops, British Columbia. Kind of the tail end of the desert, so to speak. It's a very dry climate here. Looks a lot like Laughlin or Vegas up here. But you know, the temperature for being in March, it's just fantastic. I know it's going to change pretty quick, but you know, 70s, you know, for March, breaking records, you know, 2-3 dozen records for temperatures broken all over Western Canada. I'll take it. It's all good. Here, I'll go show you the room. These mid-grade hotels, they've got it down to a science where they all kind of look the same, but you know, they're nice for the money. I paid with the taxes $100 US because I used a US website to book at Priceline. So I used those special deals where I booked the star level. I always pick the higher ones because you know, the best deals are always with the higher hotels. You know, why try to get a deal on a crappy 2.5 star? But that's just me. I like the hot breakfast and the clean, modern facilities. It has everything I need, but that's just me. Anyway, let's show you the room. Okay, this is the Wyndham in Kamloops. It's not bad. You know, it's that typical mid-range hotel. It's good value. I think for $100 US, including the taxes, how can you go wrong? I mean, you got a big bed, got an alarm clock, you got flat screen TV, and this is what I like, these small little touches. Like you always got to have a fridge, right? Keep your stuff cold, and a microwave for heating things up, right? You don't want to always eat in a restaurant. Maybe you'll grab something or you got takeout and you want to heat it up. Oh, look at this. It's got a extra outlets on there. That's interesting. Never seen that. But hey, nice place for me to do my video editing if I wish. Little chair here, nice view. I'll show you the view. Great view, beautiful day out here, Kamloops. And let's see the turtlet. Oh, it's a big closet here where you can put your luggage. Is it me, or is all the bathrooms going with this type of lighting? They all seem to look that way with the square sink. It's kind of that nouveau look. Nice huge shower. Nice little rack there. And the turtlet. What more do you need? Yeah, so I'm just on another magical mystery tour here. Who knows where I'll wind up. But I guess you'll find out if I decide to upload it. But it's a beautiful day here in the tournament capital of Canada, Kamloops. So in the meantime, folks, stay safe, keep your wheels in the ground. I'll talk to you soon. Over and out.
I got you.